Hi everyone, welcome into my new episode of Peter's English podcast. I'm online again, I'm streaming and recording. I'm Peter, I am 34 years old, I like learning English and doing my podcast. I've been learning English since August 2022 until now. I like watching movies and series in English. I like listening to my favorite English podcast and audiobooks in English, and I like my own Peter's English podcast. Learning English is my hobby. I want to live without language barriers. I want to visit many countries. I want to socialize with other people who like learning English, and I'm doing my own Peter's English podcast because it's my hobby. I want to practice my appearance in English and my English speaking skills, and that's introduction. I want to create second introduction about the topic of this episode. In this episode, I want to practice my appearance again. But this episode is about how to create your own English podcast, and why is creating your own English podcast a good way how to practice your speaking skills in English and appearance in English, and why thanks to connecting creating your own English podcast with your hobbies can be a good idea to do something that can be your hobby and a cool thing to do. And I want to discuss about this topic with my AI co-host. I'm joking that this is my co-host because I don't have any co-hosts. I want to discuss with Microsoft Copilot, and I can show you how to learn English with Microsoft Copilot and chat about this topic in the same time. Let's go to the topic. I'm going to write a message for Microsoft Copilot. I'm streaming and recording on YouTube. Tell me tell my listeners what's English podcast. At first, I want to tell you what is English. What is podcast? Podcast is English podcast is an radio show that you can download in any good podcast app. It can be about every topic. There are a lot of English podcasts about every topic. You can listen to it everywhere and whenever you want, because podcast app can remember your position in the current episode. It can be audio version of podcast or video version. And now this is the message of Microsoft Copilot. What is an English podcast? Alright folks, whatever you're turning in live or catching the reply, welcome. Let's break it down. An English podcast is a regular audio or video show where people talk, teach, laugh and share ideas all in English. Yes people. English podcast is an audio or video show in English when people talk in English about every kind of topic together. It can be And English podcasts are the best option for listening to natural English conversation, because there are a lot of English podcasts about where English native speaker like Luke Thompson from Luke's English podcast are talking with their guests, and they are doing natural English conversation. Now we can continue. An English podcast is a regular audio or video show where people talk, teach, laugh, and share ideas, all in English. It's like radio meets storytelling, with topics that range from grammar tips to spooky vampire tales, interviews, book reviews, or even random life updates from cool hosts like Peter. Thank you, Microsoft Copilot. As you can see, Microsoft Copilot is a very good cheerleader, isn't it? For learners, English podcasts are a powerful tool to improve listening and pronunciation, pick up new vocabulary and expressions, hear real conversation in context, practice shadowing and speaking along. Yes, English podcast is the best thing for listening natural English that is spoken in the street, because the best way how to practice your listening skills is to listen natural English conversation between native speakers. People, it can be funny and educational, and my favorite English podcasts are the best English podcasts for improving and your listening skills, and yes, of course, they are very funny, and it's my hobby. It can be your hobby too, if you discover it, of course. But I want to share with you that is a very good way how that it can be learning English can be a very good hobby for you. And here's the best part. It doesn't feel like studying. It feels like you're part of a fun chat with accents, idioms, jokes, and all the quirks that make English vibrant. So grab your headphones, enjoy the vibe, and let this episode help you podcast your way fluent. Yes, people, and now we can continue. Why is creating your own English podcast the best option for practicing English skills, speaking skills in English, for practicing speaking and appearance in English. Speaking skills and appearance in English, and why it's a great hobby. Great question, Peter. This is answer of my questions from Microsoft Copilot. Great question, Peter, and an awesome message for your listeners turning in. Creating your own English podcast is like building your personal language playground. Here's why it's such a powerful way to practice speaking and why it makes a brilliant hobby. Speak with purpose. Instead of random conversation practice, you're preparing content that matters. You organize thoughts clearly. Use varied expressions and tone. Improve pronunciation and pacing. It's like giving a speech, but fun, casual, and uniquely yours. Confidence and appearance boost. Podcasting isn't just your voice, it's your presence. You train how to sound clear, confident, and expressive. Learn to handle nerves and speak naturally. build charisma and your radio personality. It helps you feel like an English speaker, not just study it. Creative freedom, motivation. Unlike worksheets or exams, a podcast can be about anything. Films, hobbies, personal stories, weird facts, your vibe, your voice. It's fun and sustainable because you control the topic. You're not just learning English, you're creating something real. Global connection. Even if you're not fluent yet, podcasting opens doors. English learners and native speakers might tune in. You're part of a worldwide creative community. You inspire others and get inspired back. The mic becomes your bridge to the world. So yeah, starting your own English podcast isn't just smart, it's a bold, creative adventure. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start and speak. And now, people, my opinion, why I'm doing my own Peter's English podcast. I was inspired by Luke Thompson, where he was talking in his older episode that create your own English podcast and practice your speaking skills in English and appearance and do your own content. I've been making my Peter's English podcast from June 2024 until now. My podcast has celebrated his first anniversary, and the most important thing is that first I like podcasting. I like to stream and record in the same time. I like to talk to people. I like to do my own Peter's English podcast about my hobbies, that is writing, streaming and recording my own fairy tales in English. I like to speak about every topic that is interesting for me, and I can inspire, and I want to inspire everyone. Why is learning English important for you? That learning English can change your life. You can have better paid jobs. You can travel and meet new people. You can live without language barriers. There are a big world of English content. There are a lot of interesting English podcasts, audiobooks. You can watch movies and series in English. You can do a lot of things. And thanks to creating your own English podcast, you can do your own English podcast about your hobbies that you like do it, and that's great. You can practice your speaking skills in English, your appearance, and talk about your topic. I think it can be very funny and educational, and I like to do it. I like to do my own Peter's English podcast about my hobby that is interesting for me, that is writing my own English fairy tales, because you have to practice your writing skills in English too, and the best way how to do it is doing your own stories, and I've been doing it since the start of my podcast. At first my podcast was about my own fairy tales, but then I decided to do my podcast about my own fairy tales in English and about learning English, because I want to inspire a lot of people that learning English it can be your own hobby, because you can listen your own English podcast about your hobbies. You can do your English podcast about your hobbies, and this is the hobby that you can do every day for the whole year, and you can change your life, because there are a lot of English content, and you don't need to watch television in your language anymore, because there are a lot of free English podcasts and the best and audiobooks in English, and I think movies and series in English are best in English. And what else? Oh, I've been streaming for 15 minutes. Yes, this is You can speak about your hobbies. I was talking about it. You can practice your appearance, and that can help you in the real life, because I'm shy person. That's true. And thanks to it, thanks to doing my own Peter's English podcast, I can practice and practice, because the best way how to practice your speaking skills in English, you have to practice a lot. Because without practicing, you will be shy forever. That is not any other way. And I want to tell you that it's not important how many mistakes you can do. Why? Because mistakes is a good thing that you make fun of it, because everyone do mistakes. Your podcast is not about perfection. You do your English podcast because it's your hobby, your passion. Do not care about other people who want to make fun of you because they are thinking that they are doing fool of you or something like that. No, don't listen to this kind of people. They are not your friends, because a true friend will support you and not to be against you. And everyone who is talking that do not do English content because you are doing fool of yourself. Don't listen these people. These people are living in the middle age. You have to practice, and creating your own English podcast can be a big changer for your life, and you can do your own English content about your hobby that is interesting for you. And you can write and yes, of course, thanks to writing your own stories that you can publish as your podcast, you can do your own universe, your own world. And yes, of course, you can do your English podcast about your hobbies. It can be about, about fishing, about cycling, about movies, about sports. It's on you. And don't worry about the mistakes when you are doing it, and it's your business. It's my business, it's my hobby, and I don't care about anybody. It's my business. No one can tell me what I have to do, and please, people, do not care about me. It's my business, my hobby, and my thing. And now, yes, thanks to creating your own English podcast, you can be creative. It's a creative freedom for you. You can do your English podcast about everything. And I cannot forget that you can connect with other creators. But you can create your own community. You can inspire a lot of people and have a lot of friends. And it's great. And I've been streaming for 18 minutes. Okay. I think that what now? I think that it can be the end, and it can be a series. Yes, because I cannot tell everything how to do it right now. I think that's it. Because the most important thing is that what is English podcast, why it's important for you. And in the next episodes, it can be a series. Yes, it's a very good idea. Series, how to do podcast. And in the next episodes, I can tell you. And without Microsoft Copilot, I cannot tell you everything because I can forget something. Thanks to chatting with AI chatbots, AI chatbot can find information how to create it and tell you and me too. And that's great. I think that in the next episode I start with yes, I can tell you that the first how to start. Yes, this can be the most the first thing. I think that the first step of doing your English podcast is have to do it about your hobbies. And we can wait. Yes, I'm going to read it. Absolutely, Peter. That's exactly the spirit. Starting with your hobbies is like launching your podcast from your comfort zone. It's the perfect way to warm up your voice, speak naturally, and build confidence. Why hobbies make the best starting topic? Passion fuels fluency. You already know what you love, so words flow easier. No pressure. You're not chasing perfection. You're just chatting about what brings you joy. Great vocabulary booster. Whether it's movies, books, folklore, or podcasting, you're learning the real terms people actually use. For example, your Simpsons love could spark a hilarious analysis episode. Your duo cards use. Boom! Flashcard walkthrough. What else? Yes, the first step is I recommend you do your podcast about your hobbies. It can be everything, and you can add other things. But I think when you have your hobbies, that you can do your podcast forever about this topic, and that's great. And with this information, I want to end. And later I want to chat with Microsoft Copilot about how to start, how to create, and this kind of thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Follow me everywhere. And in the end, I want to tell you, I want to repeat myself that I like learning English and doing my podcast. Do not care about my hobby. If you want to do fun of me or complaining about me behind my back, it's my hobby, my life. I don't care about you. Yes, I don't care. You know, I don't care. It's my business. I really don't care. You can trust me. It's my hobby, my business, and no one can judge me. Thank you for all and other people who like my podcast, my work, my English content, and want to be my real friends. Yes, we can create English community of creative authors, and we can speak. We can have fun with thanks to learning English and do our content and stream and record on YouTube together. And we can do a lot of episodes together during the internet or in the real life, but it has to be a serious thing. But until now, I'm doing it myself, and I don't know, and I don't need anyone. I like doing it, but if you don't want, we'll see. And I've been streaming for 24 minutes. Oh yes, it's my passion, and as you can see, I'm practicing, and I don't care what other people think about me, because it's my hobby. And I'm going to end this because 24 minutes is enough. Bye bye.